My name is Sunday Adekunle Folayan. I am the president of the Nigerian Internet Registration Association, known by the acronym NiRA. NiRA is the organization responsible for managing the Nigerian top-level domain name, which actually is the flag of Nigeria on the internet, also called the cyberspace. NiRA is the body charged with the administering and registering these names that has to do and end with .ng. The domain name and website, the easiest way to understand the difference is to use real estate. You would liken the domain names to street addresses. So when you buy or register a domain name, it is like buying a plot of land. The type of building you now put on that domain name is like the website you are building at that address. So you can buy a domain name that is very, very affordable, like you are buying a piece of land at Alagbado, but you put a building on it that will rival the type of building you have at Ikoyi or Lekki. So, but at any point in time, if you want to go to your property, which in this case is the website, you navigate to it around the streets by following the address, which in this case is the domain name. Yes, the letter .ng arose from the International Standard Organization's classification of countries into two letters. So Nigeria is classified as NG. The United Kingdom is classified as UK. A country like Saudi Arabia is classified as SA. Of course, you would then wonder that what is South Africa if Saudi Arabia is SA? South Africa is given the name .ZA. And of course, there are even some very small countries that people don't know. One of them is the Accession Island, which uses the letters .AC. And there's also a very small island in the Pacific called Tuvalu, whose letters is .tv. As I said, .ng is what we call first level. So if you register RaveTV .ng, what you have done is that you have registered RaveTV on the second level. So don't forget .ng is always the first level. So you register RaveTV, that becomes RaveTV.ng. You may also decide to register it under the commercial grouping. So there's already com.ng, which is a commercial grouping. So if you register ravetv.com.ng, then RaveTV becomes a third level domain, which is under the second level.com, which is under the first level.ng. So ravetv.com.ng is a third level name. The first thing is that .ng is Nigerian. When you register under .ng, it already promotes your identity. You see, it's not an accident that I bear the name Adekunle Folayan. That Adekunle Folayan already tells you I am the son of the great Folayan. And that Adekunle tells you that I am not mortgaging my Yoruba identity. Okay? If I am Peter James, you will wonder where I am from. In fact, Peter James may not necessarily be an Israelite. It might be anybody from anywhere in the world. So the name Folayan already ties my identity to be a Yoruba man. Of course, I am proud, and I proudly also own the domain name sundayfolayan.name.ng. Proudly. So by the time you have your NG domain name, it describes your identity as a person. So when you go to www sundayfolayan.name.ng, you already know everything about me. You don't have to second guess me. You don't have to search for me. You know where to find me on the internet. For the country, .ng conserves our national resources. By registering under .ng, we're avoiding capital flights. If you register under .com, the people who run it, who administer it, the resources it develops is that of the Americans. If you register .za, you are improving the economy of South Africa. But if you register .ng, it is the economy of Nigeria that you are enhancing. It is Nigeria that you are developing. AIDS agency, when they give you aid, they also send the workers that will spend the aid. So what you will see is the money. It doesn't leave anything back. .ng helps us develop Nigeria. We can develop website builders. We can host the websites in Nigeria. We can develop programmers. We can develop people who promote content, new TV stations, radio stations, so many e-commerce websites. It's not an accident that you have konga.com.ng. It's not an accident that you have jumia.com.ng. These are enterprises that are developing the Nigerian economy using their Nigerian identity. And everybody should latch on and join. Yes, it's when you use an identity that is known, it is very easy to know whether that identity is true or not. All right? When you hear the name Folayan, it's only a region of Yoruba land that those names are used. You won't find a Folayan from Ijebu. You won't find a Folayan from Egba. You won't find a Folayan from Ilaje Eseodo. You know, Folayan is a name you find between Osun, Ekiti, and Kwara. And so once you know the name, you can go to where they bear that name. You can ask, do you know a Sunday Folayan? You already will know whether you are dealing with the right one or not. So you can't second guess. So by just hearing some names, okay, you already have an idea. If you hear an Omatse in Nigeria, that's an Edo name. And you can just go to Edo and at the right place inquire that is this Omatse the genuine one or not. So by using a Nigerian domain name, it gives you the ability to have your name authenticated for people to know that you are real, to do the type of check, to increase the confidence of the people who are doing business with you. The ultimate aim of going into business is to make profits. And that profit can be best assured when you reduce the decision barrier that the patrons need to make before they patronize your products or services. Well, it would be nice if Nigerian companies use the .ng brand. We will not be compelling people to use it. But in some cultures, I must say that if you really want to say you have arrived, you must do what is acceptable and what is reasonable. You know, if you are an Oyinbo or an Ndigbo or you are from, you know, that part of the country, when you say you have arrived and you built a 25-story building in Lagos, the average Igbo man will not respect you as somebody who has arrived until you build in the village. And building in the village is not bungalow. It has to be a story building. You know, so just like there is that cultural identification that an Igbo man has not arrived until he has a structure in the village. And so does a Yoruba man believe in, we don't really take a business as truly global if it does not have a .ng domain name and a presence in the global cyberspace that is Nigerian in nature. Yeah, NiRA is doing a lot. We are doing media campaigns. That we're on your TV station is not an accident. It's one of those targeted strategies for engaging Nigerians that has made this possible. We are in print media. We are on the internet. We're running social campaigns on Facebook, on Twitter, on Google, and all the other internet media, so that we can really position NiRA in the eyes of Nigerians. So Nigerians would become aware of what NiRA is and what we're doing to promote this Nigerian identity. NiRA is what we call the registry. Our business is to generally make the entire process and product available. But those who actually do the work of getting Nigerians to register and who do the registrations are what we call the registrars. So NiRA appoints registrars, and if you go to the NiRA website, www.nira.ng, under registrars, you'll see all the list of NiRA accredited registrars. You choose a registrar just the way you choose an healthcare provider. All right, so when you choose a registrar, that registrar is in the business of registering the domain name. So the person that registers is the registrar, and you, who becomes the owner of the domain name, we call the registrant. So we have the registrant, which is you. We have the registrar, who actually does the registration and interfaces with the end user. And of course, we, NiRA, we are the registry. So that's the tripod of the 3 R's: registry, registrar, registrant. NiRA follows the World Intellectual Property Organization rule for resolving intellectual property, things like names. So whoever has a trademark has the right to the name. If you don't have a trademark, it's first come, first serve. So if you, and there are some things you cannot trademark. You cannot, for example, trademark Lagos. Lagos is not for anybody to own as a name. So whoever registers it is the person that would have access to it. And NiRA recognizes registrations on the basis of first come, first serve, unless you have a trademark or a copyright on that name. If you don't have a trademark, if you don't have a copyright, whoever gets it first is the legitimate owner that we will recognize.